How's it going, everyone? It's Ollie from Mars 1000. Today is December 10th, 2020, and obviously the main focus of this video will be the winter storm that will impact the United States that we've been talking about over the past several days. So let's just begin by looking at the futurecast radar and the radar at this time. And you see that for the most part, it's dry for the United States, mainly due to the fact that there's a huge ridge dominating the eastern half of the United States. As you can see here, it's mainly dry. You see a pretty large bump in the jet stream, which represents that there's a pretty big high pressure bringing a lot of those warmer temperatures up, and you see that it's mostly dry right around this area of higher pressure, and it's bringing abnormally warm temperatures throughout the United States. So it's mostly dry. Even the Northwest Pacific for now is at least dry, mainly because there's also a little bit of ridge drying things up and keeping the moisture bands from the mid latitude cyclone of the North Pacific off the coast. So you're not seeing that much precipitation in the Northwest like you typically see in the winter. However, the only major rainfall threat you guys well, I wouldn't say a major rainfall threat. However, the only noticeable rain band that's located in the United States as of right now is this rain band that's towards southern Arizona at this point, and you see it's pretty defined. You see the yellows, you see even some reds, as these are mostly moderate to heavy, even heavy rain showers at this time, and it's as a result of this. We've been tracking this upper level low for the past several days. It's been meandering and meandered south, and since it's cut off from the jet stream, usually these upper level lows are very slow, but now it's starting to make its way onto the east as a result of the subtropical jet, and it's getting a little bit of help from some of the instability that this jet stream dip enhance by bringing cold air further southward to bring a lot of that moisture and that humid air up to condense right around Arizona and form just enough of a low pressure system that it could develop into something in the future. And we expect this to merge with another trough that's going to come through the Northwest Pacific, and it will become the snowstorm later during the week. So this, as of right now, if we move on to the future, you see the thunderstorms continue, and then in the higher elevations of Arizona and New Mexico, you begin to see some snow showers, as obviously in the higher elevations, the air molecules are more spread out, less energy between the air molecules, and which means it's colder in the higher elevations, which means that you're far more likely to see snow in the higher elevations. And then as we continue onwards, the snow continues and extends all the way to the Rocky Mountains of Colorado, where you could experience potentially up to 8 inches of snow. And then you see that as it continues on to the northeast, the snow band extends all the way to Wisconsin and even Michigan. And you see that the entire low pressure system that was very small in Arizona became this pretty large, small scale mid latitude cyclone. I wouldn't call it large scale yet because this isn't going to be ultra powerful like many other mid latitude cyclones typically are. However, it will be powerful enough to bring a lot of snow around this region. So, over the past several days, you know that I've been using the word uncertain a lot because we were still like 4 to 5 days out from when this snowstorm is expected to impact the Midwest. Now it's Thursday, and this storm is expected to move on to the Midwest around Saturday morning. So we're pretty much only about 2 days out from this snow forecast. And usually between the 2 to 1 day and even 3 day window, that's when the forecast models really get a confident idea of what's going to happen and who exactly will be impacted. Keep in mind, there still may be changes in the forecast. It could be slightly different in terms of its trajectory, which keep in mind that even a small shift north or southward could mean a huge difference in whether you experience rain or snow. However, for the most part, it's pretty certain at this point we're going to see the low pressure system move within this trajectory somewhere in southern Michigan or as far north as potentially northern Michigan. I don't it's pretty much impossible at this point that this that the possibility that this low pressure system moves northward more towards the middle of the Midwest, affecting the Dakotas and Minnesota. It's near impossible at this point, and it's near impossible that it's gonna stay just far south enough to where middle like Indianapolis or Columbus will experience snowfall from this, as it seems likely it's gonna take sort of this trajectory at this point, as the forecast model's margin of error becomes much smaller when you're only 3 to 2 days out. So it's pretty certain we're gonna see snow in this area, and a lot of people under the snow forecast should prepare now, because it seems pretty certain you guys are gonna experience snowfall, and quite a bit is possible. If we take a look at the forecasted snowfall for this week, for this snowstorm, at which extends from Friday to Saturday night, you could experience up to a foot in Milwaukee and northern Michigan, and also you could experience 3 to 6 inches throughout a broad area of Wisconsin, even extending as far south as Chicago, which could experience 1 to 3 inches from this snowstorm. And like I said before, any shift in the forecast a couple miles can make a huge difference to whether you experience maybe 12 inches of snow or 3 inches of snow. So you definitely need to keep in mind with the forecast. However, like I said, there isn't going to be a major shift where Minnesota gets snow or potentially Pennsylvania or New York gets snow. It seems pretty certain it's going to go through this trajectory and be around at this strength at 995 millibars, as it seems unlikely that it's going to rapidly intensify at all, since the jet stream dip is just isn't pronounced enough, and there isn't going to be enough instability for this thing to work with and really rapidly intensify until maybe when it goes off the coast of Canada. But by that point, it won't be a worry for most people, maybe the eastern coast of Canada. So you definitely need to watch in Canada, as it could be a much more significant storm for you guys, especially north of Montreal, where you could experience much more snow than what's currently forecast in the United States. So you need to keep that in mind if you're just north of Montreal, because it seems like it's going to be a much more significant snow event for you guys. So for Michigan, for the Milwaukee area, for Chicago, and even like extending to Kansas, Missouri, and the southern portion of Iowa, you definitely need to prepare for a snowstorm, as potentially 3 to 6 inches is definitely in could be in your area, or if the forecast shifts just a little bit, you could end up with potentially a foot of snow. So it's better be safe than sorry. You need to get those salt. You need to get all the salt you could. You need to get those shovels ready for the snowstorm, and make sure to stay safe and do not drive out on the roads unless it's an extreme emergency, because this snow will fall down pretty quick, especially if you're in Michigan. Because if we take a look at the GFS model, if we turn it back, you see the darker blues, which represent heavier snow, and those snowfall rates could be in excess of 1 to 2 inches per hour, which could completely cover the streets in snow and make it completely dangerous. So if you don't if it isn't an emergency to go out, please don't go out. It could save your life, it could save another person's life, and I want you guys all to be safe during this snowstorm. And make sure to get those shovels ready and prepare. And you might want to make second thoughts of making plans this Saturday or Friday. I know it's tough because a lot of people are off Saturdays, Fridays. People want to go out, but it's better to be safe than sorry when it comes to a snowstorm like this. But outside of this snowstorm, what else is there to look at in the United States? There's obviously also going to be this northwest trough I was talking to you about. That's going to enhance some of this snow and bring the instability for this snowstorm. However, there's going to be another one that's going to come right behind it from the Pacific Northwest, and it'll obviously bring a lot of snow in the upper Cascade Mountains, which might make it a good snowing weekend for a lot of you guys. And then it continues to move further to the southeast, bringing a lot of snow throughout the Rocky Mountains, extending to Utah, Wyoming, Iowa, all those states definitely need to watch out for some snow, especially if you live in the higher elevations. And then it moves further south where you could experience some snow as far south as Oklahoma. It's still uncertain. However, it seems like there's expected to be just enough of a jet stream dip that'll allow some snow to occur in Oklahoma and potentially Arkansas as well, and maybe as far south as Texas. You can't rule that out because it seems like both the GFS and the European are taking just enough of a jet stream dip to allow that Arctic air to move just far enough south to affect Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Texas, potentially bring snow. And the European model, it mostly agrees with this as well, with it bringing just enough of a dip to bring that cold air just far enough south. And then this low pressure is interesting to watch because it's expected to develop just off the coast of North Carolina and develop a little bit more once it encounters the warm Gulf of Mexico water, and as well as the warmer temperatures in the southeast. So as of right now, both the computer models are taking this storm off the coast, which means that it's as of right now, it's unlikely that we're gonna see like a nor'easter type of storm or a rapidly intensifying type of storm move up north and affect the northeast and potentially bring like heavy snowfall or blizzard conditions. However, again, we're still 5 days out. The uncertainty is still high during situations like these when we're 5 days out. So we definitely need to just watch that low pressure system. Don't make any major precautions just yet along southeast um, or the northeast because we're still far from certain what's gonna happen. But it's definitely something to watch. But for the near future, definitely the Rocky Mountain ranges and the Cascade ranges need to watch for definitely some snow, and it could be a good skiing weekend for a lot of you guys. So that's definitely something good, I'm sure, for a lot of you guys who love to ski and all that. And however, you definitely want to keep in mind that there will be snow in the higher elevations and potentially going a little bit lower in the lower elevations of potentially Denver. So you want to watch out for that. If we take a look at the GFS model, snowfall forecast, which again 1 inch of rain. This is assuming 1 inch of rain equates to 10 inches of snow. You see that potentially up to 8 inches of snow is possible along the upper portions of the Rocky Mountain regions, and in Denver, potentially up to 4 to 5 inches are expected. So just because you're in the lower elevation doesn't mean you'll miss out. And you see that snow even extends as far south as Oklahoma City, where you could experience more than 1 inch of snow. I think it's going to be less than that because in Oklahoma City, obviously, it's far south. The ground is very warm, and I don't think the GFS model really regards the ground temperature in its snowfall forecast, which assumes that 1 inch of rain equates to 10 inches of snow. And also, this is also a very variable and number. It could easily not be the 1 inch to 10 inch ratio snow liquid ratio that we might expect with the storm. So while I don't think it will be that much snow, maybe not even no accumulation at all, which I still think is a more likely scenario, you still could experience a dusting or maybe potentially up to 1 to 2 inches of snow in Oklahoma. So watch out for that if you're along that area. And I would say prepare if the snow is of major impact for a lot of you guys. But I guess that's about it for this video. I thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe for more content. Make sure to like if you like this video, and make sure to share with friends and family who are interested. And I hope you guys have a good day.